You're listening to the Icandemy Podcast, the podcast for people who can but don't know how. This is where you get actionable steps to turn vague dreams into blissful realities. And I'm your host, Omoshola Victoria Wolabi. So let's get started. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Icandemy Podcast. I am super excited to be back after a long break. What I learned in this break was if you decide, I'm just going to take a break for something, and you do not actively have a plan on when you come back to that break will become an extended, unforeseen departure. Let's just put it that way. But I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be recording this episode today after a very long break. And I didn't intend to be away for so long. I just thought, I'm just going to take a break because life was happening. Life was lifing. And it just became me procrastinating. I'll be back next week. And I'll be back next week. And something else would happen. But today's the day when we decided to say enough. We are back, and we are back for good. How have you been? I hope life has been treating you well. A lot has been happening, but I will be discussing this as we go along. Today, I just want to get back into it, continuing our conversation from unlocking the miracle of you and how we can unlock our miracle gifts, because I do believe that every one of us who are believers have been given not just talents but gifts as well. And this is evident in 1 Corinthians, where it says that all of us have been given a gift of working of miracles, a gift of healing, a gift of speaking in tongues, a gift of faith. There are so many gifts that we are given, and it is listed in 1 Corinthians 12, verse 8 to 10. And it says, we've been given a gift of wisdom, knowledge, faith, healing, miraculous powers, which is what we're going to be discussing today, a gift of prophecy, a gift of how to distinguish between spirits. It is a gift of speaking in different kinds of tongues. It is indeed a gift. And today is, I just want to continue, because on the last episode, we talked about how do we unlock or understand our miracle gifts of healing for those of us who carry those gifts. And I said, if you cannot understand or unlock it if you don't test it, if you don't attempt it to actually know whether or not you carry those gifts. And I gave examples of how when we're not eligible for medical access, or we had to pay out of pocket, not like you weren't eligible, you were eligible, but at the time, if you were to access healthcare, you would have to pay out of pocket for it. And that morning, my 2-year-old woke up with a pain in her ear, and I was like, not today. We are not going to spend this money that we did not budget for at the doctor. And I decided, we're going to pray for you. You're going to pray as a 2-year-old with her own mouth and say, Lord, heal my ears in the name of Jesus. And it happened. She was healed in an instant. And I also talked about how when we finally became eligible for accessing, free healthcare, that became the default setting. Anything happens, let's just go to the doctor. And it took the Holy Spirit to convict me to say, look, you have actually defaulted now to making regular doctor visits your default setting, because now you feel you're eligible. And it just got me thinking how great challenges are. Yes, a lot of us do not like challenges, we shy away from them, but I tell you that challenges will be the birthing of your miracle gifts. Yeah, when you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place, that is where you would have no choice, like I did not have a choice, to decide, I'm going to pray for my child today and God will heal her, mustering every faith in me. And it happened. But all of a sudden, when we were eligible to visit the doctor, without paying out of pocket, that became the default setting. So this is just to say that God deliberately allows us to go through challenges sometimes in our lives so that we can unlock things that are hidden deep within us. And today I want to talk about the gift of working of miracles. This is an exciting one for me. Because the Bible recounts, different miracles that happened, categorizing them into healing miracles, miracles of nature, miracles of restoration. The creation of the world is a miracle. God speaking and saying, let there be light, and let there be, and it was, is a miracle in itself. And another significant miracle we see in the life of Jesus was was Jesus walking on water, turning water into wine. Before Jesus came in flesh, we saw miracles happen through Moses when the children of Israel were leaving Egypt and they got to the Red Sea, which is they literally got to an impossible situation, and a miracle had to happen. And Moses would have never known that was possible if they were not stuck in between a rock and a hard place. When they got to the Red Sea and there was no way through, they were like, it's over. What do we do? And he started to cry out to God, and God said, why are you crying out to me? Move forward. And Moses struck the sea with his rod, and it parted. And they were able to walk on dry ground. And because that miracle happened, we saw it again replicated in Elijah's time, where he struck the Jordan River and it parted so he could walk on dry ground. So miracles are a thing. Miracles exist. Even in our day-to-day, miracles exist today. Because, before we continue, I just want to recap, and I know I touched on this in a previous episode, but what exactly is this terminology called a miracle? It is a fortunate outcome that prevails despite overwhelming odds against it. That's basically what a miracle is. It is something that is brought about by a divine power for a divine purpose. It is an event that involves the direct and powerful action of God that transcends ordinary laws of nature and defies common expectations of behavior. So take, for example, Jesus turning water into wine. He just said, you know what? Take water from the jar and take it to the master of ceremony. When the master of ceremony tasted it, is like, why, like, guys, since when did we start saving the best for last? This should have been served first. That was a miracle. That is unexplainable because we don't know what happened between the attendant getting the water from the jar and taking it to the master of ceremony. We don't know what happened there. It is a miracle. So it is a fortunate outcome that prevails despite overwhelming odds against it. We see other types of miracles as well, just such as Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead after he had been dead 4 days, which in our human understanding is impossible. It's impossible. The dead is the dead. He already began to rot in 4 days. But Jesus was able to do that, right? We also see him feeding the multitudes with 5 fish, 2 loaves, 5 loaves and 2 fish. Oh my God, I can't remember now. We see him feeding the multitudes, breaking 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. I believe that's what it is. Yeah, I believe that's what it is. And this multiplied by him giving thanks. That is a miracle as well. Now we see all of this and we wonder, are miracles even possible today? Is there a way that we can still unlock literal working of powers in our world today? And I would say absolutely yes. It is still possible in this day. Whatever we saw Jesus do is possible in our time, because he said it. He said, greater works than these will you do if you believe. So the whole concept of miracle is, and it should be, an everyday occurrence for the believer, for those who realize and believe that anything and everything is possible. In Mark 9:23 in the scriptures, it says, Jesus said, if you can, everything is possible for one who believes. Because with man, it may be impossible, but with God, all things are possible. So how do we unlock our miracle gifts of working of power? Like I said, there is a direct correlation between challenges and unlocking a miracle gift that is hidden deep within us in our spirit. I remember recently because I make donuts as a side hustle, aside from my day job. And I had this order that had come through. It was a very large order. And I woke up early, I started to make these orders. And along the line, something just went wrong with the donuts. And the batches of the donuts, I don't know, they began to break in the oil as I was making them. And I'm thinking to myself, what is going on? What is going on? I look at the time, and delivery for this donut is in an hour. There's no way I can start the process from scratch. And I'm panicking. I'm freaking out. I call my husband. I'm like, something is going wrong. What are we going to do? Do we call them and apologize, give a refund, cancel? But these people had put in this order almost 3 weeks before. How do you call them on the day and say, this is not going to work? At the same time, my reputation is at stake. I did not want to deliver something that was not on par with what they knew, the quality of the products that we had delivered to them before. And in that moment, I'm literally almost crying, and I'm saying to myself, like, this is it. How do we get out of this? I can't call them to say, sorry, we can't deliver. And because that would be disappointing them. That's not a good look for a business. And at the same time, I do not want to deliver these products that I'm not satisfied is of good quality. And I'm thinking to myself, and I said, God, you need to show up for me now. There's no way I'm disappointing these people. I don't know what to do. So I'm laughing because when I replay it in my head now, it's just almost impossible. So my husband is like, you know what? We are going to deliver these donuts the way they come out. We are delivering these donuts the way they are. So I make up my mind. I said, you know what? I would rather deliver it and discount the price later on the invoice, right? Than disappointing them and not showing up. So my husband takes the order, loads it in the car, and heads off and delivers this to this event. And he stands around. He waits there because he wants to see the reaction, right? And because at that point, I'm thinking, you know what? We probably would just maybe give it as a donation, not even charge for it, or discount it to the barest minimum. I was ready to just take that order as a loss. And my husband he's there, he just hangs around after delivering the order and is watching people. I'm back home, obviously I'm cleaning up, and I'm terrified. I'm saying the backlash is going to be swift. Like, you have no idea. What is this that you have just delivered? So my husband doesn't call me, he's there. This I think these were the most excruciating 3 hours of my life. I'm thinking, oh my God, like, I'm sure the reviews are pouring in now. The bad reviews are coming. People probably did not eat them, and yeah, whatever. So my husband comes back and he says, you won't believe what happened. I'm like, what? He says, these donuts were eating up. They were gone in 10 minutes. As soon as people had it, they tasted it. They were like, we have never tasted anything like this. What is this? I said, wait, what? What did you say? He said, I was watching them. And he went with 2 of my kids. My children were there. So, because I thought, oh, you're just trying to make me feel good. Because, you know, my daughter was like, no, Mom. They literally could not get enough of these donuts. In 10 minutes, it was done. It was finished. And I'm thinking to myself, what? What just happened? You see the little prayer I made as I was making the donuts? I said, God, you have to take the wheel because I do not want to disappoint these people. For me, I felt I was just confessing something out of desperation, which I did, but God heard that prayer. Now I understand how water getting into the hands of the master of ceremony would have become wine in his hands, and tasting it said, this is the best ever. Till today, I don't know how that miracle happened. I don't know how that donut became the best batch that I ever made, according to the people who ate it. And I'm thinking, this cannot be possible. Like, what exactly just happened here, right? So, yeah, it's just something that I have personally experienced, that the gift of working of miracles is possible in this day. We saw it in the Bible. As believers, whatever we saw in the Bible, we saw Jesus do, is possible in our day-to-day. And how do we unlock it? We cannot unlock it without challenges. They are intrinsically linked, right? Whenever challenges are an opportunity for us to work out our faith, to work out our gifts, to open up a new dimension of what is hidden within us. Oh, thank you so much for listening to this episode. And until the next one, keep on shining. So there you have it. Thank you so much for listening. And for more content like this, follow us on our social media handles. On Facebook, it's at Icandemy, the Facebook page. On Instagram, it's at Icandemy. Or come say hello over on my personal page. On Instagram, it's at Omoshola Speaks. On Facebook, it's Victoria Wolabi. Feel free to reach out, introduce yourself, say hello. I love meeting you. And if you have any stories that you feel will inspire another woman to action, I want to hear from you. I really do. I love hearing from you. Send me an email to hello@icandemy.org. So it's hello@icandemy.org.